Hey y'all, welcome back to another video with Kendra and Phineas.
Hi.
Today's video, I'm going to be sharing a dream. Actually, it was my first dream that I ever had, prophetic dream, actually. The rapture dream that I just shared was like the recent dream I just had. And my husband, he wants me to share my dreams, and I honestly think it is important I share my dreams with you guys because so you guys are aware of the things that are happening in the physical and the spiritual world, like because we are against the principalities, like we are against the evil things in this world. And so we have to really just keep our eyes aware and, read our word because, Jesus speaks on these things. He speaks in, like, obviously the Gospels and other areas and also Revelation, speaking about the end times. And we have to be really aware of it and to not, how do I say that, like, try to be like, well, I think everything's gonna be okay. I don't think the world's gonna end. Well, it's just like the Lord doesn't want us to get distracted into the world. He doesn't want us to be like, well, yeah, I'm gonna fall myself into the world and focus on the world and all this. No, He wants us to focus on Him, and He wants to focus on building our relationship with Him and on the kingdom of heaven and saving souls. Because there's a lot of people that are gonna go to hell because they don't know about Jesus. They don't know about the gospel. They are not getting ministered to. But a lot of people have the free will of choosing to deny Christ, and that's sad. That's the honest reality. But I'm here to share my dream with you guys because I think it's important, and I will tag along verses that comes in mind.
When was this dream?
This dream.
We were living at Grandma's house, right?
Yes. We were living at my grandma's when this dream. I should have wrote down the dates of these dreams, but I didn't, which is okay.
It was a good push.
Sorry, he burped. But, so, the dream that I had, obviously I was sleeping.
No way.
Yeah. But in this dream, I just want to let you guys know, I'm not just trying to make up these dreams or anything, or trying to be
obvious.
Yeah, or trying to be like, oh yeah, I'm making up something in my head. No, this is what I was shown in my dream, and this is honest truth. But anyways, in this dream, I was in New York. I was in New York, and I was with a bunch of people. Like there was a lot of people in the city, like a lot of people, and there was these black SUVs in the middle of the I don't know if you guys see New York. I can show the picture of it.
Like Madison Square Garden?
No. So you know how the Times Square, the roads, they were in the middle of the roads with their cars, like the black SUVs. They were these were like military men. They were in the middle, and for some reason something was going on, and they were doing I was by these people, and they were doing a vote. It is more like who's going to follow Christ and who isn't. And actually, many people raised their hand, like they did a vote, and they're like, who's going to follow Christ? Who's following Jesus? And I think in my dream that I was scared that nobody was going to raise their hand, I don't think. And then I think people realized that if they did raise their hand, that it would lead to them getting killed. I'm trying to remember as best as I can.
I remember this was another tribulation dream you had,
Yeah.
basically.
And then a lot of people raised their hand up for Jesus. And then it ended like that. And so, obviously it's it makes me think of the one world government.
Well, I remember when you were telling me that dream that you said that that nobody expected, you were among other people, no one expected anybody to raise their hand, but so many people raised their hand that it actually was shocking. That it almost was like, uh-oh.
Yeah. And it made me think of the one world government because the world would be controlled by, obviously, the whole world's going to be controlled by the Antichrist, right? And so it's and this is why I should be getting my word more, because some things I be not knowing. Well, obviously I know that the one world government will be controlled by the Antichrist. It's just it's crazy because it's When God was giving me these dreams, I didn't really have an understanding or really know, because, like I said, I wasn't in my word as much of thinking, well, Lord, what is this? What is this dream for? And so, I told my husband this dream, and, obviously we're giving each other feedback and allowing the Holy Spirit to lead in the conversation, obviously. And it's like, when that time comes, the tribulation, it's going to be a one world government, and it's going to be controlled by the Antichrist, and he will say, like in the Bible, it says that he will be, how did I say that? He will try to make everything good and all that. When he
talk about peace and safety.
Yeah, and he will say Jesus is not the Son of God.
He will claim to be the Son of God.
Oh,
he will claim to be God himself.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my dream that I want to share with you guys.
Quick, short, and simple, but still really. I mean, there's a lot there to unpack. I mean, you're in the middle of New York. You're in Times Square. There's hundreds of, maybe dozens of thousands, like 12, 15, 20,000 people, like a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
Black Escalades grouping them in, and basically all of you guys are round up, and they're basically saying, if you believe in God, we're going to kill you. And if you don't believe in God, we'll let you live. And more people than you expected raises their hand and say, I believe in God. And they're willing to die for him on the spot.
Yeah.
And to the point to where it's almost overwhelming for the military that's there.
Yeah.
Which is powerful.
Yeah.
But it's also scary because it's like, well, Revelations is true. You will die a martyr for Jesus in the tribulation.
Yeah, and that's what the end time talks about. Like in Matthew, it says that be ready to be prosecuted and to be, murdered. And it's like a lot of people get scared of that fact. They get scared of the fact of like...
We'll get right with him now, and then you won't have to go through it.
Yeah. It's like, if you're living in fear, that's where when the enemy has you, because he's like, this is where I have them at. And Jesus, obviously, the Lord doesn't want us to be in fear. He doesn't give us the spirit of fear. And it's like, when we live in fear and we constantly live in fear and we think of like, well, I wouldn't, like, because I'm going to be honest with you. Back then, I used to fear of eternity, and I used to fear of like, oh, if I do go in the tribulation, I'm going to die. I'm going to get my head cut off. Like, the thought of that scared me horribly. And it became a thing where it just, I didn't know how to really comprehend it or like cope with it, or, like I was like, well, I don't want this to happen to me. But later on, the Lord really just taught me, like, I gave my life to him. And also he gave his life to me, dying on the cross for me. And it's like, why would I not give my life up to him, for him, for somebody who loves me so much? It's like, a lot of people don't want to do that because they think it, honestly, they think of like I said, it's fear. And because they're like, well, and another thing that just came in my mind is a lot of people don't want to give up stuff that keeps them bondage.
Yeah, they want to stay lukewarm.
Like, say for example, you have an addiction with pornography. You're like, Lord, no, I don't want to give this up. But he's not, we know this. The Lord's not, pushy. He doesn't force things upon us, but he waits for us patiently, and we are the ones that act like, well, I need to do this quickly. I need to hurry up. But no, it's like, it takes time, and it's like, letting go of your pornography addiction is hard. It is. I'm going to be honest. But it's like, giving it to the Lord, he will help you through that. And so it's like, it made me think, like, if you can't give up the things that keep you bondage, like with your sin, while giving your life to Christ, then you're not really giving your life to Christ. You're
somewhat.
What?
You're
yeah.
Somewhat.
Like, yeah, living in that lukewarm area.
So lukey.
Yeah, you're living in that lukewarmness, and you're like, yeah, no, Lord, I'm going to live for the world, but also live for you too. It's like the thought of like, oh, well, I'll get saved later on, but I'm going to still do my stuff. No, it does not work like that.
Or you think that grace is sufficient for you to stay in your wicked ways.
Yeah, and people live in that, you know? And it's like, myself, I struggled with that, with the lukewarm. I was like, well, you know, I'm going to live for the Lord and then live for the world too. And I'm like, and the Lord's like, no, that's not how it works. Because I also had a dream that actually went with that when living in lukewarmness. And plus, I was in religion when I got first saved. I was in religion and practiced religion of just doing religious things, Christianity, and it just led me to learn what to do in religion, but not relationship. But now I know relationship instead of religion. And so, yeah, that is a dream that we want to share with you guys. I'm glad that we got to share with you guys because it's been a blessing. And I apologize for now if some things I said did not sound right. Forgive me. I'm not the perfect person, and I make mistakes. But I'll also put some verses in the description that tag along with what we're talking about too, because I think that's very important to share with y'all. But yeah, I love you guys. I hope you guys have a good night or good morning, good afternoon, a good whatever.
Found lint in my belly button.
Okay, well, anyways, bye guys. Bye.
Meow.